YouTube, this is Necrostevo and you're watching my 68th narrated Wi-Fi battle. Hope you all are having a great beginning of this wonderful winter season that we're having here. I live in Alabama, so the crazy weather here, it was 60, 70 degrees earlier this week and now it's back down to like 40 or 30. So you wear layers and you strip them off as you go. Today I have for you a generation battle that I have with my friend Eric. I'm on the other side of the field because I didn't remember to save it when we had the battle in person. But fortunately he did, so I was able to pull it down from the GTS. So let's get started. Since this is Generation Battle, I chose Generation 1 because it allows me to use most of my favorite Pokemon generally. Starting off with Choice Band and Arcanine is great because they intimidate. Plus, if he brings in something that I can either 2-hit KO with extreme speed, or even just wallop with the maximum power of Flare Blitz is great. Unfortunately, Hariyama often carries Thick Fat as an ability, and I'm not going to be able to do too much with Arcanine against that, so I swap out to Venusaur. This is a special tank Venusaur kind of sort of deal, and I was hoping he would just switch out into something that didn't mind going to sleep, because that's generally the best thing to do, but I went for Leech Seed just because I figured he'd go out into something that could take the sleep. And from the I didn't know if he run any grass types or not. Of course, when you play in person, there is no team preview, so I wasn't sure. But that works out pretty nicely. Unless he's carrying Ice Punch, I'm not really too afraid of Metagross. He goes for Earthquake. I know I can take that relatively well and put him to sleep, so that's exactly what happens. And that Metagross is generally incapacitated for quite a while. And with the Leech Seed recovery, I get back up to a range where I can take another move of some sort. I'm really happy to see Venusaur in OU now. He's been my favorite Pokemon since Generation 1. And it's been kind of cool to see him move from 4th Gen UU all the way up to 5th Gen OU. And one day I will get access to a Chlorophyll Venusaur. One day. And then I will use it on every single team from that point on. But anyways, though, he goes out into his Gardevoir. I wasn't really sure what he wanted to do that turn, but I did expect him to switch out, so I double switched the same turn as he did, and he just stays in, and I get off a Choice Bandit Crunch on his Gardevoir. So I think he, for one, I don't think he was expecting the crunch, and I think he overestimated Gardevoir's bulk a little bit in thinking that it could take a physical move, but I was Choice Bandit, so even if I went for the Flare Blitz, it probably would have killed just fine. Now, Flygon is a problem for my team because since I'm using 1st Gen, the only steel type I have access to is Magneton, who will be destroyed by Earthquake, so I need to fodder something out here. I also have my Tentacruel, which actually isn't too useful against his team, things that I've seen so far at least. But I can bring in Arcanine, get the Intimidate, hopefully scare him out. I can 2-hit KO him with Extreme Speed. And he doesn't switch out, but with the added, Arcanine's general good bulk and the added effects of the Intimidate, I figured I could take an Earthquake pretty well. And if he wanted to swap out into Metagross, I have other things to deal with that too. So I barely take the Earthquake, which I don't know, I thought I was going to take that a little bit better than that. And he goes out into Metagross, and I was like, okay, no problem, I'm just going to do, a tiny bit of damage on Metagross, and then I can swap out. And unfortunately, he's holding the Rocky Helmet since I missed earlier because I didn't actually make contact with him earlier. And so basically I run into him so hard that I hit his hard helmet and I kill myself. So sorry about that, Ali. I would not have done it that way. But I do get a chance to go out into my Scarf Magneton here and go for some Thunderbolts. That first one doesn't quite kill. I was a little bit surprised about that because this is timid. It's not max speed and it's not max special attack because I was trying to get Hidden Power Fire on it, which literally took weeks of breeding to get a Magneton that had a usable Hidden Power Fire. And Timid Nature and Magnet Pool. I would normally get one or the other. But he brings in Flygon here and I need to fodder something else out because I know he's going to Earthquake. And nothing on my team really wants to take an Earthquake. And likewise, nothing on my team really wants to take an Outrage. So I really need to deal with this Flygon, and I'm not really sure how, because my only thing now to speed it is, of course, new Protron. So I figure maybe I can come in and kill him off with a Tri-Attack. I didn't know if he was bulky or something weird like that. I was just hoping that this would kill, Otherwise, he would pretty much run train on the rest of my team with Earthquakes. Fortunately, though, that does take him out, and that's a huge threat gone, and which is kind of a shame because I kind of like Flygon's design. But this team does not like Flygon at all. He goes out into Blaziken, which is fine by me. It's not the Speed Boost Blaziken. I still don't understand why they didn't just ban Speed Boost Blaziken and leave regular Blaziken. But anyways, he starts going for bulk ups, which that's fine by me, because that allows me to get in some good tri-attack damage in there on him. If I were going for Thunderbolts, that would have been a 2-hit KO. But I figured, unless he had a random priority move like Quick Attack, I could just come in with Alakazam and kill it off after he killed my Magneton. But he misses his Sky Uppercut, which if he were using High Jump Kick, he would have just killed himself. So that's okay with me. I just stay in and I keep going for Tri-Attack. I go for 3 Tri-Attacks in a row. Tell me that's not pro to go for 3 Tri-Attacks. That's triple the Tri-Attack goodness with Magneton. And there's 3 of him. Why the hell not? Walrein comes out. Walreins are very bulky and very annoying. I know that is actually one of Eric's favorite Pokemon, at least, is Walrein, and they're very annoying to deal with. And his has Earthquake on it, and there is not a single Magneton that will live through an Earthquake being quad weak to it, like that right there. So I really didn't see that coming. I was expecting maybe a Water move, something like that. Not Earthquake though, so that worked out for him. I go down there, and I'm now gonna go out into my Nemesis, which of course is my Nidoking, and I am Life Orb, I believe. And so a Life Orb Sheer Force boosted Thunderbolt is going to be able to wipe the floor with this Walrein, but he lives on 1 HP. It's kind of cool to be on this side of the battle because I can see how much HP he lives with. And he lives with 1. It's just slap him in the face with the Flipper. And that would have been, I don't know what I'm talking about. My point is, though, that was unfortunate because had I had Nidoking left over, then it probably would have been a little bit easier to work around his Blaziken, because I was still fearing the priority on Blaziken. But, of course, Alakazam Spoony Sage is going to outspeed everything that he has left. I was worried that this Hariyama might live a Psychic. Am I Life Orb? I'm not sure if I'm Life Orb or not. But he does fake me out for the damage, and strangely enough, if I had Alakazam's other normal ability, which is Inner Focus, that wouldn't have mattered. But Magic Guard is typically more useful, and he also gets Synchronized, I think. But I do take him out very solidly with the Psychic right there. And so his last is that Blaziken that he had before. And it turns out that he does have Quick Attack, so that is a little bit unfortunate. I was hoping it wouldn't do too much damage, and it really doesn't, so that was okay. I think he told me that this wasn't a max attack Blaziken. It had a little bit of a weird EV spread, apparently. But Psychic is able to finish him off, and that was a nice Generation battle as Generation 1 triumphs over Generation 3. So I hope you all enjoyed that. That was a little bit different for me to do that type of battle. I had a lot of fun doing it, though. And I know many of you all are in school and that type of thing. I myself have finals starting this upcoming Monday. Law finals, of course. 3-hour final, no big deal. Paper, closed book, good stuff. For you guys who do have finals, best of luck in your finals. Go in there and make sure you kick their asses. And I hope you all have a great weekend. I will talk to you all later. Bye.